Just behind feed and labor, the cost of raising a dairy heifer is the third highest expense on dairy farms. There has been a shift in herds, according to Geiger, who is lead economist for dairy production and processing in CoBank's Knowledge Exchange Research Division. Good morning to you, Corey.
Good morning, Elaine.
So tell us what you observed when it comes to dairy heifer numbers.
Well, the big picture is the dairy heifers are the replacements that are going to come into dairy herds are at a 20-year low, and they're down over 700,000 animals in the past 6 years. And this is the 500 and over category, not even counting the baby calves.
You shared some fascinating graphs with us, as always. How did we get here?
There's a bunch of components to this, but first heifer raising costs went up, and then we started using more sex semen so we could predict our heifer calves, and actually about half the semen sold in the U.S. today is female sorted semen. So then we had inventory issues, and replacement values went down, as you're seeing on the graph here in 2018, even prior to that. And so dairy farmers started using beef semen on dairy cows to kind of plan we're capitalizing on high beef prices, right? And so these days, it's been estimated there's between 3 and 3.25 million animals out there that came from a dairy cow or heifer, but a beef sire. It's just mind-boggling, but that's where we get to these numbers here in the replacement category.
And your next graph alludes to that, shows that beef semen sales have climbed substantially.
This is a skyrocketing graph here. I mean, we're treading along here, and then poof, 2017 happens. We go from 2 million to 9 million units in 2022. The 2023 data isn't there, and I know it's going to be higher yet.
So you also examined slaughter numbers and how that relates to replacement prices for heifers. What did you see there?
So this summer, when milk check margins weren't that great and people weren't making money necessarily making milk, you see the cull rates pick up in 2023 in the summer months there, and then all of a sudden that yellow number starts ratcheting down, and right away that was my cue for two things. See dairy farmers pulling back on culling, and replacement prices for that next cow coming in the barn, if you're going to buy them, are going up. And now look at the start of the new year. It's just a completely different trend line.
I was going to say, we're on a different part of the graph for the beginning of this year. So do you see that line continuing downward this year, or have we hit a point that we're really as low as we're going? Well,
I think it's going to stay low and mirror that for a while here, because the bottom line is the replacements aren't out there. The prices have gone up. The USDA numbers are $1,900. I've seen prices at auction markets push $2,800, and that's just a paradigm shift from 6 months ago.
So what are you hearing from dairy producers related to all of this? How is this impacting their business?
There's a lot of moving parts to this. So if you're growing your herd and you need replacements, now you got to change your budget line. The other thing is, for the next 2 to 3 years, we could have a different milk production level here in the United States. We're not going to have, you can't make baby heifer calves and make more cows. This is biological. This is a 2 to 3 year shift here. So these replacements that somebody may need, they're just not out there. So it's going to impact milk production. You may see some lower culling numbers. People are keeping their cows longer. Big change here. We haven't really encountered this in my lifetime.
Fascinating research, and no doubt you can dig into those numbers even more in the full report. Corey, how do we find that, and talk a bit about the team that is behind all of this?
I'm part of a group of 10 economists at CoBank called the Knowledge Exchange Division. I work in dairy, but I have teammates that work in grain and animal protein. And so we work together on reports that can kind of forecast where we're heading as an industry, not only in the U.S., but around the world. You can go to cobank.com and find it. It's easy to locate under our Knowledge Exchange Division, and you can download PDFs of each of these reports and learn more.
And be prepared to spend some time there, because there's a lot of fascinating topics. We appreciate you sharing your research with us.
It's been a delight to be here today, Elaine.